Hello everybody, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Thanks for joining us here on YouTube. Be sure to check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com for everything Royal Caribbean related. Hope you're having a great day so far, and I really appreciate you spending your time here. Actually, every Monday we are live right here on YouTube talking Royal Caribbean with you, and after we get through our topic for tonight, we're going to be answering your cruise questions. So come check us out afterwards, and if you're watching this video in the replay and say, man, I wish I could have been here for this live video, subscribe to our channel, turn on your notifications, so that way you don't miss out on any of that. And I already see people joining us here. We're talking about top 10 Royal Caribbean dining tips. These are some of my favorite tips about the dining room. Let's go through them. Number one, don't order just one thing. I know when you go to a restaurant in town, you go to Chili's, you go to Burger King, you go to anywhere, right? I hope you aim higher than Burger King, but you go to any of these restaurants, you always order one thing. That's enough. Otherwise, it'd be too much. Plus, you don't want to pay for food beyond one entree. On Royal Caribbean, when you go to the main dining room, or Johnny Rockets, or Jamie's Italian, order as much as you'd like. There is no limit. You're not limited to one entree, one appetizer per person. In most cases, you can get really as much as you'd like. And what's really great about this isn't about being gluttonous. This is about two things. Number one, serving portions tend to be a little bit smaller on Royal Caribbean than they do maybe on land in restaurants there. But also, it's about trying new things and maybe sampling something you've always been angling to do, but you're worried to be wasting your money. This is a good opportunity. Number two, bring your dinner back to your room if you can't make it. If you or someone in your party can't make it to dinner for whatever reason, be sure to tell the main dining room waiter that there's an issue with it, and they'll be sure to wrap up dinner for you to be able to bring back to your room. Number three, you can bring your own wine. That's right. Did you know that Royal Caribbean allows passengers to bring up to 2 bottles of wine per stateroom on board their Royal Caribbean ship to enjoy in any restaurant or bar on board the ship? You can enjoy the wine in your stateroom, or you can always bring it to the restaurant. Keeping in mind, by the way, you may be charged a $25 corkage fee, but bringing your own wine is certainly going to save you a ton of money in the process, because by bringing your own wine, you're going to be able to obviously have a much greater selection, and you'll be able to pay retail prices for that wine. And again, it's 2 bottles of wine per stateroom, and no, you cannot bring any other forms of alcohol on board. And that 2 bottles of wine is in addition to the non-alcoholic beverages that you're allowed to bring on board. Now, speaking of that wine, I mentioned you can bring 2 bottles of wine with you. You can have the wine follow you. Yeah, so let's say you bring the bottle of wine to the main dining room. You drink half of it, but you have half left. What you can tell your waiter is, can you please store this for you? And they'll bring it to the back, and the next evening, they'll bring it back out to you. Oh, but what if you're going to Chops the next night, or any other specialty restaurant on board the ship? No problem. You just let the waiter know in Chops or any specialty restaurant, hey, I have a bottle of wine in the main dining room. Or if you in the main dining room, hey, I have a bottle of wine at Chops, and they will go get it for all they need is your stateroom, and you're good to go. If you have food allergies or special requests, get them taken care of on day one. If you or someone you're traveling with has a food allergy or a special dietary request, you need to go to the main dining room on embarkation day and ask to speak to the head waiter on duty. Once you speak to them, you can convey any special requests you may have. Just make sure everything is set up. You may have already placed a request before the cruise for dietary requests, but take care of that before the cruise. Take care of that on embarkation day to make sure it is taken care of. Pre-book hibachi. This is a big one. I love Izumi Hibachi. Teppanyaki style dining is a great venue, and to have it on Royal Caribbean ships is amazing. But when it comes to the hibachi, you absolutely positively want to pre-book it before your cruise. All of their specialty restaurants, it's not nearly as important to make reservations ahead of time, but because teppanyaki dining is so popular, do yourself a favor, make a reservation ahead of time. Now, if you are, speaking of specialty dining, if you're planning on booking a specialty dining package, or rather, let me reverse that. If you want to do a lot of specialty dining, more than 2 or 3 nights, definitely book a specialty dining package. I often get the question, Matt, will a dining package save me money? And the answer is absolutely yes. A dining package is a great value if you want to enjoy multiple specialty restaurants. The catch, if you will, with the specialty restaurant packages, you cannot book a specific restaurant or time until you board the ship. Once you're on board, you can do that. But that's okay. It's not really that big of a deal. Just make sure you make reservations ahead of time, but take advantage of those dining packages because they absolutely will save you money. Now, a really good question for folks who are going on their first cruise or they're just looking to avoid lines for meals, there's always great alternatives available for you. I know we all tend to gravitate towards the Windjammer or the main dining room, for meals, but if you're looking for less crowded options for any meal, always consult the Cruise Compass for all venues that are open at any given time. All too often we do go to these places. I'm guilty of this. I always just end up going to the Windjammer for breakfast or lunch or dinner or snacks, but there's other alternative venues like Cafe Promenade, Park Cafe, Sorrento's Pizza, Solarium Bistro, Cafe Latitudes, and more can all offer you fantastic complimentary dining choices that, by the way, can be quick and really, really simple. Now, if you have My Time Dining, I have one tip to share with you when it comes to My Time Dining, which is make reservations. My Time Dining gives you the flexibility to dine at any time that you'd like to, but you definitely want to make reservations for that. Whether you make your reservations before the cruise or even on board the ship, having a reservation just makes it so much easier. And the larger your group, the more important this is going to be. And the last tip, I actually shared a little bit of this tip earlier, but it's worth repeating, is make dietary requests before you board the ship. If you just need like low sodium or something fairly simple, no problem. But, and to that point, by the way, Royal Caribbean can accommodate food allergies, gluten-free diets, kosher, low-fat, low-sodium. In addition, there's also vegetarian meals available on the menus. But if you got something a little more, or you want to make sure that you have a severe allergy or something like that, send an email to special_needs@rccl.com. Special_needs@rccl.com, and include in the email the names on the reservation, your booking number, ship name, and sail date, and send it at least 90 days before you're sailing. So that way you can take care of that. Whoa, Angela Roman with a super chat off the bat. Angela, thank you so much for the super chat. Wow, getting us started here already. So there you go, 10 Royal Caribbean dining tips. Hopefully these help you out here a little bit and have been kind of, will make your next cruise that much better for you. There's a lot more than that, but these are like my 10 favorite tips I love to share. Soné Boat, let's go to the chat, by the way. That's what I'm about to do right now. And Soné writes, I hear you talk about so many ships except Mariner this season cruising on in April. Any tips or comments about it? Really? I cruise on Mariner, I've been on there 6 times this year. I love Mariner of the Seas. Soné, there's lots of great things. Number one, Soné, before I say anything else, we have a top 10 Mariner hidden secrets at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Check it on out. That's number one. Number two, for Mariner of the Seas, is check out the water slides. They're fantastic. For a great sail away spot on Mariner, head over to the helipad for sail away. Ooh, go back to the water slides. If you want to do the water slides without a giant line in there, definitely go on embarkation day. Pack your swimsuit, and then as soon as you get on board the ship and you eat lunch, change into your swimsuit, and you're good to go. When I say bring your swimsuit, I mean don't put it in your checked luggage. Keep it with you on board the ship. GOT, how early should I get to the port? I don't get there any earlier than 10 a.m. I would say between 10 and 11 a.m. is where you want to aim for, rather. Sorry, I got dining on my mind. Wayne says, what is a special restaurant for Suites on Independence of the Seas? We love Coastal Kitchen on Anthem. Wayne, there is no special restaurant for suite guests only on Independence. The Coastal Kitchen is only available on Quantum and Oasis class ships, so there is no special option there. Hannah writes, what if you're sailing less than 90 days? Can you still send the request in? Yeah, I would still send it in anyway, Hannah. You got nothing to lose, really. But again, goes back to the other tip I shared earlier, which is if you are going to have a special request, send the email regardless. And number two, go on embarkation day and speak to the head waiter in the main dining room. By doing so in the early afternoon of your first day of your cruise, you will ensure that they're aware of it. And if they're not aware of it, they can then take actions to make sure you're good to go there. And Hannah the email address is special_needs@rccl.com. Brian F., first cruise coming up on Symphony of the Seas. We want to do especially dining. Should we bring the kids? Sure, there's nothing wrong with them. Kids are absolutely welcome in specialty restaurants. There's no provision against them. I will tell you one thing, Brian. I don't know how old your kids are, but do not make reservations. Unless your kids are adults, then you should ignore this advice I'm about to give you. But if your kids are below 13 years old, what I would recommend you do is not make reservations for them. Don't buy dining packages for them. Don't make reservations for them. When I say that, I mean, don't pay for them in advance. Kids have a special rate at the specialty restaurants. So what you want to do instead, Brian, is make the reservations for you and your spouse or any other adults in your group, and then just show up with the kids and that way you can pay the regular rate. There is one exception to that rule I just gave you, which is Izumi Hibachi. If you want to do the hibachi, book the adult rate for the kids. When you get there, let them know, hey, I've got, 1 or 2 kids or whatever with us. I already prepaid the adult price, and they'll refund you the difference. Warm-Up says, first of all, Warm-Up says, are there any meaning behind the ship's names? For example, how do they get the names of the ship they make, for example, like Harmony of the Seas? There's not a terrible amount of meaning behind them. A lot of times it just sounds pretty. There isn't like a master plan to them necessarily. More often than not, it just sounds good from a marketing standpoint, Candace wants to know, how different is Symphony from Allure of the Seas? That's a good question. They're both Oasis-class ships. The entertainment and the artwork is going to be different. Specialty restaurants are also a little bit different on Harmony versus Allure. And a lot of that's going to be blurred even more when the ships change when Allure of the Seas goes through refurbishment next year. Oh, got a couple super chats coming in. Danita, my family and I, with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Danita. My family and I will be on Allure of the Seas in 62 days. Where can I make reservations for Izumi where I don't have to buy the pre-cruise package? So let me get this. You're going on Allure. And if your question is, Danita, do you want to make a reservation for Izumi before the cruise? You go to the cruise planner website. You go to RoyalCaribbean.com. You log into your account. You'll have your sailing over there. And from that point, you select your sailing. And then you can make reservation, Danita. At worst, you can always wait to book it on board the ship. But again, going back to that tip I shared earlier in this video, if you want to do hibachi, like the Izumi sushi side, you don't need to make you don't have to go crazy about making reservations in advance. But for the hibachi, you want to do that via the Cruise Planner website. And Brian F., thank you for the super chat, my friend. Very, very kind of you. Christina Myers with a super chat. Christina, thank you so much. Shout out to Sarah Myers there as well. Very kind of you, Sarah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Matt Roberts, what is the earliest that you can book your reservations for My Time Dining in the dining room? What time? I believe it's usually 5:30. Earliest I could imagine would be 5, but I'm going to go with 5:30 on that one. How long do the lines get for the water slides on Symphony? It'll really depend, dude. I can't, it can get, on a sea day, you'll see the longest lines on sea days. No question about that. I mean, around lunchtime, early afternoon, sea day, it can get kind of backed up over there. My advice for the water slides is you either go there as soon as they open, or you go in the evening. Right around 5 o'clock or so, everybody leaves that area because everyone's getting ready for dinner. So good time. And also, port days are an excellent time to take advantage of the water slides. Barry Akins writes, do all cruises offer a 10-drink special? No. The drink card, that 10-drink special you've seen, is a promo they run from, and it may or may not run depending on the sailing. It really depends. It's basically a tool that Royal Caribbean has in order to spur drink purchases rather. So it's not offered in every sailing. There's absolutely no way to know ahead of time if it will be offered in your sailing. It's kind of one of those, if it happens, it happens. In fact, you can even ask the bartenders early in the cruise and they won't know. It's really up to the revenue manager on board the ship. Carol wants to know, have I ever been on Adventure of the Seas? I have not been on Adventure, but I have been on her sister ships, the other Voyager class ships, and they're fantastic. I think you will love Adventure of the Seas. Scott wants to know, what ships have hibachi? Oasis, Allure, Harmony, Symphony, Spectrum, Independence, Mariner. I think that's all of them, if I got that right. I think. As of today, that could change with updates coming soon. Rafsky, what is the name of my favorite sandwich at Coco Key? I'll be there for the 17th wedding anniversary on the 19th of this month. Congratulations, Rafsky. My favorite sandwich at Perfect Day Coco Key is the crispy chicken sandwich. But here's the thing. There's 2 chicken sandwiches on the board. Make sure you get the one with the brioche bun. Get that one. You'll love it. Rich says, I have a 5:15 main dining room time for my cruise on Allure. If I want to go to dinner later, do I have to show up late or to make a reservation or something? Ideally, Rich, you'll make a reservation for later on. Because by doing so, you'll take advantage of the tip I shared earlier, which is reservations make your life easier. You will wait less in line. With My Time Dining, there are 2 lines in the dining room. People with a reservation, people without a reservation. So, Rich, if you know you want to change your time, do it right now. Make the change now. But obviously, if you show up, if you're on the ship on that day and you have that 5:15 and 5:15 ain't going to happen, no big deal. You can just go to the other line. And especially if you're going there, Rich, I would say beyond 7 o'clock p.m., the wait will be very, very insignificant. Bridget wants to know, is Izumi Sushi open during embarkation day lunch? Sometimes it is, Bridget, most times not. But the way to figure it out, or have a good idea if it's available, is look at a past cruise compass. We keep an archive of past cruise compasses at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. So find your ship and then look over there and see if it's there. Luis Allen, is there a place you recommend on embarkation day to eat on Harmony of the Seas? I love the Windjammer, Luis, but it can get kind of busy. If you want something a little faster, a little easier, go to Mini Bites. It's up by the pool deck. Really easy, in and out. Greg, selling November 21st. My passport should arrive in 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, if I check in online now with birth certificate and board with the passport, or should I wait until I receive the passport? Wait for the passport. It's okay. You can complete online check-in up to like 2 or 3 days before the sailing. So as long as you do that, it's still the better way to. You want to use the passport. So Ella's here and's got her on. Ella, thank you for joining us here. Really, really appreciate it. Jason Peterson, what's going on? Welcome, Jason. Glad to have you here. Rhonda, Harmony in December. Are there any medium price restaurants you recommend in San Juan? Yes. Raices, Raices. Great spot. Raices. And I hope Christina Myers will confirm I actually pronounced that correctly. Justine Sampson wants to know if I've ever been on Vision of the Seas, best viewing spots, hidden gems. Seems to be the least documented ship on YouTube. Justine, did you check out my YouTube video from last week where I went through every single ship and shared my favorite, the best things to do on board, minus Ovation, because I forgot about Ovation, but I did mention Vision. I think on Vision of the Seas, what did I say on Vision? I remember I did on, so I've been on our sister ship, Rhapsody of the Seas. You know, what it really comes down to the Vision class in general. Great shows in the theater. You can take advantage of some fabulous dining options. Go up to the Viking Crown Lounge up on deck. I forget what it is, 12 on Vision. But go to the Viking Crown Lounge, especially in the evening time. Fantastic views over there. And Christina writes, R-A-I-C-E-S. I know it's spelled. Did I say it right, Christina? Raices? 5 Trick. Can we go on the helipad on Explorer of the Seas? Yes, you can. Bruna, going on Oasis in March for a group in a grand suite. Are stateroom upgrades part of the planned refurbishments? Good question, Bruno. I don't know, honestly. You know, what's interesting is Royal Caribbean does not announce as part of its amplification program in the press release room upgrades. Sometimes they happen, sometimes they don't happen. Remains to be seen. All right, Christine says I said it correctly. Yay! Because when I first started doing it, I used to say, go to Races. Justine, I thank you. I did see that video, and I'm looking forward to the movies on deck. Yeah, that's also a great thing, Justine. See the movies on deck, but go to the Viking Crown Lounge. I think you'll really enjoy that quite a bit. Anna, do I have a favorite restaurant in Cozumel, Costa Maya, or Roatan? I do have one for Cozumel. I love Cozumel. If you want, like, really authentic food, Anna, you want the most authentic Mexican food in Cozumel. It's a little small place, and we have a review of it at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, but you can Google it as well. It is called Comida Caseras Tonita. C-O-M-I-D-A, Comida Caseras. I'm pronouncing this without a Spanish accent. C-A-S-E-R-A-S. Tonita, T-O-N-I-T-A. Fantastic. One of the best. If you want something like maybe a step down, because for whatever reason, my second favorite place is Casa Denis. C-A-S-A-D-E-N-I-S. Casa Denis is another great spot as well. And we do have a YouTube video on our channel all about Cozumel. For Costa Maya and Roatan, I have not dined in any local establishments there. I've just gone to different resorts and whatnot. Thank you, Juan. Yes, Comida Casera Tonita. Anna Harris, have I ever done a Hawaii cruise? Not yet. I'd love to do that someday. Keith Bruce, going on Symphony next month. Are the specialty restaurants open for lunch on embarkation day? Some are, Keith. Go to RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. In our main menu, click on Cruise Compasses, and then find Symphony of the Seas, and you will see an example of what to expect. Jeff says, I saw the video you posted today. Does Navigator of the Seas always go to Coco Key at night, or is it sometimes? Just sometimes, unfortunately. We have Jeff, in that video, right below the video, there's a link to the schedule, and you can see which sailings of Navigator are doing those late nights. Brian Booth in the house. Only 61 days till Liberty of the Seas. Have I been to Chacanab in Cozumel? You know what? Of all the times I've been to Cozumel, Brian, I have not been there. Santiago, there is not food in the teen club. That is correct. But not to worry. Plenty of food around the ship. NYC Love It for Life, going on Navigator in 63 days. Is the main dining room open on embarkation day for lunch? The answer to that is no. Matt Roberts, going on Oasis in March. What's the earliest date I can book my time dining before your cruise? Good question. And It depends. There is no set time. Matt, keep checking back. Eventually it will be. Honestly, dude, I mean, we're here in October. I wouldn't even start looking until maybe Thanksgiving, probably closer to December or January. It will eventually show up over there. Raveski says, are the slides at Kokoki open till 10 p.m. on the extended days? You know, we have actually, I got to post it. I do have a schedule of the, let me get the answer to that, Raveski, because somebody who went there on the first sailing, #jealous, did post a schedule. I do know that they closed the beach down at 6:45, but the Oasis Lagoon is still open. I'm honestly not sure about the water slides. I'm looking at the schedule here. They're not specifically spelled out. I'm not honestly sure. That's a really good question, dude. A little too early to get that over there. Doug Miller writes, if I buy the refreshment package and want a cocktail, will it be charged full price or a discounted rate? Full price. One has nothing to do with the other. Earl, 3 days till Vision of the Seas. Have you been on the ship? I have not been on Vision, Earl, but we did do a video last week on the ship. You may have already seen it, in which I spelled out the best things to do on every ship in the fleet. And as I mentioned earlier, for Vision, can't go wrong with seeing movies by the pool. Heading up to, I should say, the Viking Crown Lounge, and go there in the evening. Fantastic views there. Anna Marie is here, going on Mariner in May. Do we have to make reservations for shows like we did on Anthem? No, you do not. First of all, you can't make reservations for any ship that's not a Quantum or Oasis class ship, so you're good to go. Zachary says, should I study for my calculus test tomorrow? Keep watching this. Oh boy, you know, I would keep watching this. But you know what? The parent in me tells you, do your homework. This video will be available on VOD later, but I'm so glad you're here. Raveski, thank you for the super chat. Very, very kind of you. And Raveski writes, thank you. Love your voice.
Why, thank you very much.
5 days till Symphony of the Seas. Nice. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Virginia going on Navigator. Monday the 14th. Nice. Are there any sights to see in Miami? Yes, there's a ton of things to see in Miami. Miami is one of the largest U.S. cities in the country. There's great culture. South Beach, first and foremost, if you're talking about Miami, you're talking about South Beach. You're talking about the great things over there. South Beach is an area, Miami Beach, that's east of where the ship is, or where the port is, I should say. It's beautiful over there. Do some dining, go swimming. It's one of the nicest areas to hang out at. I think a lot of tourists will head in that direction. There's also the Frost Science Center. The Miami Heat play there. The Miami Dolphins play there. The Miami Marlins play there. The Florida Panthers, I don't know if they play actually in Miami, but they're around there. So, plenty to do. There's the Aventura Mall also is a really good choice. Theory is here. Theory, you did not miss the stream. Let's see here. Brady going on. I'm sorry I can't get to all the questions, guys. I'm trying to answer as many as I can. Brady writes, going on Oasis in April, and I can't wait to see what's changed. Have been on Oasis. I'm going on Oasis, dude, November 24th. First sailing after refurbishment. Andrew Cody is 17 years old and going on Harmony in January, but wondering if I didn't want to get off the ship during the port days and everyone else gets off, will I get in trouble with the ship? No, absolutely not, dude. You can totally stay on board while you're in port. Ellen wants to know, are there lockers available for Perfect Day Kokoki? And if so, how do you use them? Yes, they're free, Ellen. You just go in there, you deposit your stuff. There's a code. You punch in the code. You take the key, and there's no key. There's just a code, and that's it. First come, first serve, but there's plenty of them. Let's see here. Sophie Burns, is there any specialty restaurant that are on Majesty of the Seas that aren't Johnny Rockets? One, technically. Chef's Table, Sophie. Yeah, there's no Chops Grill or Giovanni's Table or anything like that. Craig Kellogg is an insider. Craig, thank you for your support, brother. Really appreciate that. First time I can legally type that, so excited to do so. Thank you so much, my friend. You're wondering, who the heck is Craig and what is an insider? Well, Craig is a really nice dude, and an insider is a Royal Caribbean Blog insider. Somebody who donates to RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. It's a monthly donation. You can join, just special perks, of which Craig has already taken advantage of them. And for more information about how you can become an insider, go to RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com/support. If you're already an insider, type insider in capital letters so I can say thank you. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Brian Harkin. Thank you, Kathy Drew. Brian's going on Rhapsody in December 14th. You're going to love Rhapsody, dude. Classic ship. I mean, it doesn't have water slides or zip lines, but it's still a really, really fun ship. Mike Pastore, thank you for being an insider. Mike, glad to have hung out with you again this past weekend with you and your wife. Dawn is here and an insider. Brandon, thank you for being an insider. Theory, thank you for being an insider as well. Michael Boylan, on Spectrum next week, it's my first Asian cruise. What should I expect compared to the Caribbean cruises? You know, Michael, I haven't been on Spectrum or an Asian cruise in general, so that's a great question. I don't know if anyone in our chat can help answer that one, because honestly, I'm not exactly sure, other than the obvious things, in which there's a lot more Asian guests than there are in the United States. Greg DeBritta, thank you for being an insider. Anna Marie, thank you as well. Brady wants to know, what is my favorite ship? My favorite ship, number 1, Harmony of the Seas. Number 2, Navigator of the Seas. Penelope, thank you for being an insider. John Sub, you should get a fee from Royal Caribbean. It's a very kind compliment. Thank you, sir. Angela Roman, thank you for being an insider. And look who we have here. Sherry from Cruise Tips TV. Guys, my online bestie is over here right now. Please say hello to Sherry. She is super nice, informative, way more smarter. All right, I just proved that one. Much better at packing than I am, and knows a ton about the industry, and she runs a cool YouTube channel, and she's going live later tonight. Whoa, Anna Marie, thank you for the super chat. Holy moly. Holy moly. Thank you so much, Anna Marie, for the super chat. That is very, very kind. Scott, an insider is someone who donates to RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. We have an insider program. You can learn more about it at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com/support. Kathy Drew, Sherry is awesome. When I grow up, I want to be Sherry. Can I? That can be a thing, right? Carol McCauley, I'm going on. I think that's a typo. I think you're on Harmony this season, September. Now I know why YouTube hit that comment initially. Sophie, will I be on Majesty in December, or Rhapsody in March, or Harmony in May? No. Unfortunately, not. I will be on Harmony, but in March, not May. So, womp womp. The camera went out of focus. Sorry about that. Carrie Baker, welcome. Caridad Artega, what's the difference between the Harmony and Symphony? Primarily, the entertainment is different. The most noticeable differences are they have different shows. There's a couple specialty restaurants that are on one that are not on the other. And the boardwalk area and the solarium are different. Symphony Solarium has a pool and a giant bar area, whereas Harmony does not. Harmony has Sabor and has Sabor in their boardwalk, whereas the boardwalk on Symphony has Playmakers, Sugar Beach as well. Starbucks is over in the boardwalk area of Harmony, whereas Starbucks is on the Royal Promenade of Symphony. We're getting into the nitty gritty here, but they're more similar than they are different. Sherry is here. Welcome, Sherry. Glad to have you joining us here as well. Honest price, what ship has updated music at the dance clubs at night? They say, well, first of all, you're asking the wrong dude. I am such a nerd that they all sound the same to me. They all sound like God, I'm such a dork. I honestly don't know, dude. You're asking the wrong person. John Sub, I hate missing your show. You have the best live YouTube show. You see that? Move over, PewDiePie, or whatever that person's name is. I'm in town. Thank you, John. Really appreciate that. Julie Hall tried to type insider, ended up transporting to another video. What? That is a crazy keyboard you have there. Well, Julie, glad to have you here. Terry Z going on Harmony next month in San Juan till 2. What we suggest, don't book anything. Walk off the ship, explore Old San Juan. You dock right in the heart of Old San Juan. There is plenty to do over there. You don't need to book anything, Terry, in advance. Just walk off the ship, explore, do stuff on your own. We have a lot of great articles about that at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Andrew writes, would I be able to get off the ship without my family if I want to get on? Would I be able to get on? Oh, get on the ship without the family. You know, you mentioned I think you were 17, Andrew. I think you might be too young to do that. I'm not sure what the cutoff is. Tofu wants to know, do they still do lobster and formal nights on Harmony? Yes, on the second formal night. Tyson, can you order mixed drinks at the Windjammer in the mornings? Heck yeah, you can. That's how you get the party started. It's never too early. George, how late do the hot tubs stay open on Symphony? Pretty darn late, dude. I'm not sure when they get shut down, if at all. But trust me, when I go to bed late at night, there's still at least one going on there. Anna wants to know, have I ever been on a Christmas holiday cruise? I have not been on a Christmas holiday cruise. I'd love to at some point. I'm going on a New Year's Eve cruise this year, but not on Christmas. But at some point I will. I've heard great things about it. Let's see here. We're trying to reserve onboard entertainment for Symphony of the Seas for April 25th. Do you know when it'll become available? I don't, unfortunately. You know, what's frustrating, I guess is the right way to say it, is the things you can pre-book, like entertainment and really anything in the cruise planner, will vary from sailing to sailing. You're going in April 25th. You got a lot of time. Honestly, I'd be surprised if it showed up before 2020, before January. So you got plenty of time. Someone wanted to know if I ever cruised on any other cruise line. Brady wanted to know that. Yes, I've been on Disney and Norwegian. Harold Baxter, going on Symphony in November, and we're becoming addicted to cruising. This is our third. Excellent. TT Taylor, can you get a larger balcony room with only 3 guests in the cabin? They only seem to pop up when I say 4 guests, even though I really have 3, or should I use a travel agent to do it? Both. Number 1, I always recommend using a travel agent. Just makes your life easier. You know, all you would do, TT, is send them a message exactly like you just did to me, and then they do all the work for you and come back with the pricing and the options and all of that. Worst case, yeah, you can always get a room for 4 with a fake 4th person. The problem is you're paying for that fake 4th person. Granted, 3rd and 4th passengers in the same room don't pay the same rate as the first 2, so it's not that bad. But what you may be running into is certain rooms can only accommodate a certain amount of people, and you may be running into that. There's no more of those. You have to move up to the 4-people room. But anyway, I would, without obviously being with you in front of the computer, my advice is yes, work with the travel agent. Let them do all this work for you. So that way, you and I can hang out here on YouTube. PG Ears, first cruise on Liberty this season, New Year's Eve. Will I have fun? Yes. Yes. Sophie, I'm 12. My goal is to be Pinnacle by the time I'm 30. I'm at 25 points right now. After May, I'll be at 44. What's the best way to do this? Sophie, first of all, love that. That's a great goal. I think you're going to hit that no problem. The key is either to cruise a lot or to cruise in suites. If you cruise in suites, you get double crown and anchor points. That'll move up the chain a whole lot faster. So, yeah, you're either going to have to take more cruises or you're going to have to start staying in suites along the way. And obviously, longer sailings accrue more points. So, Valerie22, thank you for the super chat. Very kind of you. Valerie writes, thanks for all the helpful tips going on our first Royal Caribbean cruise on the Oasis in February. Valerie, you're very welcome. And again, I'll be going on Oasis in November, right on Thanksgiving. This will be the first sailing back after she goes in for refurbish. She's actually there right now. They're working on it. Somebody is cleaning my room right now. And anyway, we'll have more information about the ship. So that way, when you go in February, Valerie, you're going to know everything about that ship. Juan wants to know, what is the earliest you can board Harmony of the Seas? Good question, Juan. The answer is, you can check into the cruise terminal at 10 a.m., and boarding usually begins in the 11 a.m. hour. So if you can't afford suites, start booking more cruises then. But don't worry, you're 12. You got plenty of time to get to Pinnacle. Juan, what time is your... Oh, I already answered that question. Rich, do you know if they'll make formal night... Oh, make sure formal night doesn't fall on Halloween. I don't know for a fact, dude. It's a really good question. I can't give you any answer with certainty with it. So your guess is as good as mine. Curtis, where should I eat for my first meal on board? My Hotchberg family tradition is we go to the Windjammer. We go to the Windjammer and eat there. I love it. It's my go-to place. Joe Young, it's so worth the money for a junior suite, believe me. Depending on the price, I would agree with that. I wouldn't pay anything more for it, but it is nice to be able to stay in one. Myra, do you need reservations for the shows on Symphony of the Seas? Yes, you should definitely do that. They get very competitive, and you're definitely better off by getting making show reservations. There's no cost to making a reservation. You just do it ahead of time via Royal Caribbean's website. Why not? Got nothing to lose. Jade Hall is here 4 days from your first cruise on Radiance. Thanks for all the advice and tips. P.S. Working on our transporter for you to come down to New Zealand. I can't wait. People always ask me, Matt, when do you do a cruise from Australia or New Zealand? And I tell them, I would love to. I'm just waiting for Star Trek transporters to be invented because this guy ain't doing a 24-hour plane ride. Joe, going on Allure over Halloween. Do they have Halloween events on board? Yes, they do. There'll be decorations. There'll be trick-or-treating. There may even be costume contests. So bring your Halloween costume. And again, this only applies if your cruise is over Halloween day. Scott, how often do I take my kids? Almost on every cruise. I would say we take them on, a press cruise apart. I probably take them on an average year. They may stay at home for maybe 2 cruises out of my 8 or so I take. Conference game, do you recommend Meetup via Cruise Critic? That's one option available to you. I mean, I think probably these days your better bet is to go to Facebook, find a cruising group for your sailing. So go to Facebook, put in the search, put in your ship name and the date you're going. There's probably a group for you, and it's a great way to meet folks in there, and it's a lot less limiting than Cruise Critic's site is. Blue Ocean Life, do you think it's worth the extra $1,500 to go on Harmony rather than the Mariner next August? Well, that's a very misleading statement because Mariner is either 3 or 4 nights, Harmony is 7 nights, so it's not exactly apples to apples there. If you've never done Oasis class, yes it is, I'm going to tell you that. NYC Lover, thank you for the super chat. Very kind of you. NYC Lover writes, thanks for your great info. You are very welcome. Joshua, going on Harmony this weekend. Just got a notice that due to an inspection boarding will not begin until noon. I have the key with lunch starting at 11. Will they extend the hours for this? Yeah, they'll take care of you, Josh. Not to worry. Again, don't forget, this is the U.S. Coast Guard implementing this, so Royal has no control over it, but fear not, my friend. They will still make sure you'll have opportunity for that. Perla, Enchantment of the Seas in January. Any tips should we get the key experience? My tips for you are read a past cruise compass, Perla. Find out what the ship offers, what it doesn't offer. Make sure it's a good fit for you, and also having a better understanding of what to expect on board. And number 2, in terms of getting the key, if you're not staying in a suite, you were already going to buy the internet, Perla, and you are below Diamond in Crown and Anchor Society, yeah, it can. I'm not the world. It's not like critical. It's not a must do. The key is nice to have in the same way like having a Mercedes is a nice car to have in lieu of a Ford or something like that. Not to poo-poo Fords or anything. You know what I mean? Like it's nice. It's a splurge. It certainly makes your life a little bit easier, but it's not like the end all be all, and you certainly won't have a bad cruise without it. John, when was my first live broadcast? Oh man, you know when it was? I'm gonna tell you exactly. I remember at first I was like, I have no idea. Quantum of the Seas, 2014. This was on Periscope. Do you guys remember? I don't know if this is going back a number of years now, 5 years ago. Periscope was a brand new app. It was Periscope and Meerkat. These were like the big, hot, new streaming apps. And I was in 270, and I had my iPhone, and I was like, someone's like, you should use Periscope. And I'm like, live broadcast on a cruise ship? Who would want to watch that? Here I am. Enjoy Entertainment, holy moly, with the super chat. This is LT and Julius from Chicago. 6 days to Harmony. Thank you for truly all you do. What do you select at Wonderland? Any must-haves on the menu? First of all, theory are lies. Matt went live on ICQ. Not true. I did go on ICQ, and my ICQ username was 2264121. Okay. Let's go back to LT and Julius again. Thank you for the super chat. When it comes to Wonderland, there is like a... What's the word? There's a not so well hidden... It's not a secret, but no one orders off the menu in Wonderland. You're like, what did he say? No one orders off the menu. Every single time I've ever gone to Wonderland, the waiter comes up, gives you a menu, and then says, if it's okay with you, I'll just bring something out for everybody, and you'll be able to taste it all. Everybody does that. And that's honestly the way to do it. Because if you look at the menu, you're going to be like, what the heck is that? It's not like it has like, the regular, it's not listed necessarily as things, and some things actually look a little weirder than they might ordinarily be. But I would bet you dollars to donuts that your waiter is going to do that for you. So my advice is try it all. Sample as much as you can. Even if it looks or sounds weird, it's going to be a lot better than you think. David Slane will be on Symphony during the 50th anniversary cruise. Any more surprise announcements yet, or do you know of any more? I don't know of anything else besides the Hall & Oates announcement that was there the other week. But as soon as I do know something, I'll post about it on the blog. They've been very quiet on the details of that. But I'm not aware if there are any other announcements coming. Your guess is as good as mine. Katie writes, have you ever been on a Royal Caribbean European cruise, and what's my favorite thing? I have not, Katie. I got to do that. I need to get that under my belt. I haven't had a chance to do that. Stacy writes, getting the patch to put behind our ears in case we get seasick. Is this something we have to put on prior to the cruise, or we put them on if we start to feel it? You should put them on before the cruise. It's one of those things you need to put it on in the beginning and then just leave it on for the rest of the sailing. So, honestly, Stacy, I mean, look, unless you get like sick in the car, like really easily, you're really prone to motion sickness, my advice, unless you already bought them, whatever you bought them, then use them. But I think it's overkill. My parents get them every single sailing, and even they were like, this is, like, it's not necessary, especially in the Caribbean. More often than not, it's just unnecessary. And to your point, Stacy, if you run into a situation where you're starting to feel a little bit ill, I really feel like Bonine does a great job with it. Bonine is over-the-counter medication, pill form. We have a bottle we probably bought 10 years ago that we haven't quite used all up yet. And it works really well. You can use it on demand. It works fairly quickly. And, obviously the patch is a little set and forget it, but just another option for you. Walter Ali, going on Harmony of the Seas at the end of February for a leap year cruise. Do you know if they're doing anything special? No, that's a good question, dude. I've never gotten that question before. I don't think there'll be anything special, but who knows? Scott wants to know, have I ever been in a loft suite? I have. I stayed in a loft suite on Harmony of the Seas. It was amazing. Amazing. Harold, going to swim with the Jaguars in Roatan. Very excited. Have you ever done this? No. Isn't swimming Jaguar... swimming... Forget swimming. Being near Jaguars, they're those are like smaller tigers. Central American tigers. Isn't that kind of dangerous? I don't know. Anna Marie, thank you for joining us here. Appreciate your support. David, we're going to Alaska in early June. Is the salmon fishing excursion worth the price? Boy, you're asking the wrong person. I don't know if Sherry is still here, because Sherry, I know, has had a lot more Alaska experience than I have. I have heard through the grapevine the gold mining is a complete waste of time, but I'm not sure about the salmon fishing. I also, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's a bit of a season to that. But I'm going to defer. Is anyone in our chat, whether it's Sherry or somebody else, has anyone done the salmon fishing in Alaska? Would love to hear your thoughts on that one. Juan writes, with the unlimited dining on Harmony, can you reserve all your meals beforehand at the cruise planner? No. With any dining package, including the ultimate dining package, Juan, you have to wait to board them. You have to wait to book your restaurants once on board the ship. Danielle, do I need to take my passport when we go on excursions at ports? I believe the answer is yes. And I always do, Danielle. You know why? Because if you get stuck somewhere for whatever reason, if you have your passport, you're good to go in terms of exiting the country right away. I don't want to leave it to chance or somebody else to deliver the passport to me. Bring it with you. That's why you have it. And I know what you're thinking. Well, what if I lose it? Well, if you lose your phone? What if you lose your wallet? What if you lose your kid? I'm not sure why passports get special consideration compared to other really important documents and things of that nature. Angela writes, is there a junior suite on Oasis that has a Central Park balcony room? No, it's all regular balcony rooms, Angela. But I got one little secret for you, Angela, because I like you a lot. There's a set of rooms, Central Park balcony rooms, that have an extra large balcony. It's a regular balcony room. You wouldn't know the difference from booking it. But there are certain rooms that have a double balcony. Angela, as you might imagine, we have the list of what those rooms are at royalcaribbeanblog.com. So Angela, go to the blog, search for Central Park extra large balcony. You'll find it over there. Sherry's on her way out of there to go get ready for her live video tonight. Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us here. Break a leg? I don't know. I know you say it in the theater. I don't know if we say it online, but have a good time. Blue Ocean Life, would I book a guarantee room? Yeah, for the right. Sure. If it's going to save me a lot of money, I've done it before. I'll do it again. By the way, Sherry writes, for the salmon stuff, I've never tried salmon fishing yet, but the salmon bake is great. All right, so there you go. So I feel better that Sherry hasn't done it either. So for the salmon fishing, I don't know how to give you any advice on there. For situation, the next thing I would do, and I appreciate the question, is perhaps Google it. Go to the Royal Caribbean blog message boards. We have a shore excursion board posted over there. That's another good option. So enjoy podcast suggestion, unique rooms on Royal Caribbean ships. I can totally do that. I think it's a great idea. Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap things up over here. You guys, you can tell from my coughing, I'm starting to not lose my voice, but I'm getting parched. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for joining us here. Really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun talking Royal Caribbean with all of you. Hello, Triple AO. We'll be live back again here on Monday. Every Monday, we are live here on YouTube talking Royal Caribbean with all of you guys. I got a fun new video for you tomorrow on our channel. So if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel and make sure you turn on your notifications so that way YouTube will let you know as soon as I go live. In the meantime, check out royalcaribbeanblog.com. There is plenty more waiting for you at royalcaribbeanblog.com. Sophie, what time next Monday? Usually it's in the evening, around 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. Again, the easiest way, honestly, Sophie, since I think you already subscribed, turn on notifications and then turn on the push notifications in your app on your phone, and then it should let you know as soon as I go on. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Enjoy, do something fun, and we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. See you guys.